that they can't seem to come out from under.
Bring that out.
Right? When you vote, the word vote comes from the Latin word votem, or votum, a vow. It means to swear or an express desire. So when you swear and you express your desire to these men, you are cutting yourself off from the Most High God.
Right.
You're making your swearing and your oath to these men. You're making an agreement. And what is an agreement but a covenant? So every time you vote for these men, you renew a covenant with Satan. You renew a covenant, right? The Most High deals in blood, right? Was your blood not shed in this land when you were brought here? So what are you doing but going back into that same agreement with Satan again? You're making an agreement. The same with your dreams. You have to read this word to the point it is in your mind and in your dreams. Because when you make deals in your dreams with women that you're no longer with, and you're married, or whatever the case is in sex, they're trying to get agreements in the spiritual realm. These men are trying to get your vote or you're swearing unto them in the physical realm. That's why they stress to you, blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, that you vote. Because they know if you vote, they have your allegiance and they cut you off from your God. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and 15, right? Because a law went out from the Most High God. Deuteronomy 17 and 15, right? You can go to 1 Samuel 8, start at verse 1. Deuteronomy 17:15 when you get it. Got it?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17 and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
Right, so he's talking about thou in any wise, how you get a king. Thou in any wise to set a king over thee. Go ahead.
Whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
You set a king over you who the Lord thy God shall choose. Go ahead.
One from among thy brethren.
One from among thy brethren. Trump is not your brother. Biden is not your brother. Go ahead.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
Go ahead.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
So when we came to this land and we didn't know these people or this language or this nation, these men are strangers to us. You are not to set a stranger over you. It is to be from your own people. So it is directly against the law of God to pick a man, to vote for a man that is not from your brothers. Go ahead.
Which is not thy brother.
Right? Which is not thy brother. So we're going to go deeper into that. Go ahead with 1 Samuel 8, start at verse 1. Go ahead.
The book of Samuel, chapter 8, verse 1.
Let me set the premise for this, right? These are Samuel's wicked sons. They're behaving like wicked kings, right? And so with these wicked kings, they wanted these kings gone. So this is what the people did and said. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel.
Right.
Now the name of his firstborn was Joel,
Right.
and the name of his second Abiah.
Right.
They were judges in Beersheba.
Right.
And his sons walked not in his ways.
So the sons walked not in Samuel's ways, which also means they did not walk in the ways of the Most High God, right? So they weren't fit to be kings over the people. Go ahead.
But turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment.
Right.
Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel unto Ramah.
Right. Read that verse from the top.
Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together,
Right.
and came to Samuel
Right.
unto Ramah,
Right.
and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways.
So they're confirming that sons walk not in their ways, right? This is your own people not doing what they're supposed to. We got punished and came to this land. Go ahead.
Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
So now, because this is not going the way we want it, make us a king to judge us like all the other nations.
Right.
We have this issue of wanting to be like everybody else. If we stop and pause and realize the rest of the world wants to be us, but we don't see that. We don't realize that we were the chosen seed, and we're trying to be like everybody else and have a king judge. Go ahead.
Verse 6, but the thing displeased Samuel.
Right? It displeased him. Go ahead.
When they said, give us a king to judge us.
Right. Give us a king to judge us. Imagine how this man of God, who's a mouthpiece of God, you told him, give us a king to judge us when you have the Almighty God above you. When you're trying to pick someone that's not even your brother, you want to be like the other nations that were chosen. Go ahead.
And Samuel prayed unto the Lord, and the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee.
So notice, you want a king over you instead of me? He said, hearken to the voice of the people. Listen to what they have to say. If that's what they want, give them what they want. Go ahead.
For they have not rejected thee,
So he's telling Samuel, don't worry. They didn't reject you. Go ahead.
but they have rejected me.
So you rejected. When you put a king over you that the Most High God did not want, you reject him. Go ahead.
That I should not reign over them,
That I shall not reign over them. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
according to all the works which they have done
Right.
since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt.
That is referencing, I brought you up out of Egypt, but you don't want me to be king over you. I literally did a miracle in front of the nations, and you don't want me to be king over you. Go ahead.
Even unto this day,
Right.
wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods.
Right.
So do they also unto thee.
So do they also unto thee. You serve other gods. You vow to these men, trump and bite them. They are strangers. They are not your brothers. The Lord did not set them to be king over you. So the destruction that comes, you deserve it.
Right.
Everything that comes out of that vote, you deserve it. You actually asked for it. He told you, hearken to the voice of the people and give them what they want. You want a wicked king? You got a wicked king, right? What I asked for?
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 10 and verse 17. And Samuel called the people together unto the Lord to Mizpah, and said unto the children of Israel, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought up Israel out of Egypt,
So again, I brought up Israel out of Egypt, go ahead.
and delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians,
So I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, your bondage, your enemy, go ahead.
and out of all kingdoms, and of them that oppressed you.
Right.
And ye have this day
Ye have this day, November the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, on into the 7th, and ye have this day what?
rejected your God.
So when you voted for Trump and you voted for Biden, ye have this day rejected your God.
Bring it out.
Because he gave you the order in Deuteronomy 17 and 15 to choose from among your brethren to be king over you. And since that's not your brother and it is a stranger, you rejected your God. Go ahead.
Who himself saved you out of all your adversaries, adversity, Salah, and your tribulations.
So I saved you out of every problem you ever had. You know, not by word of mouth, and you know by scriptures that the 400 years is up. I did all of this. It's because of my word you know it, and you still chose a king over you. Go ahead.
And ye have said unto him, Nay, but set a king over us.
Yeah, whatever, Lord. Yeah, you saved us out of Egypt. Yeah, the 400 years is ended, but put a king over us, please. That's how you spoke to your God when you voted. Yeah, all right, I serve Christ. Yeah, okay, I go to church, but I need someone to rule me, a real person in real time, not imagination. Because you Negroes, all of a sudden, you're real religious, but the moment it's time for you to vote for president, you forget the God that you said you had, because you never had him in the first place. Right? Give me Luke chapter 19. Right, we're going to read that parable. Hold up, go back. Let me know.
Verse 8. You know what it says that you rejected me this day? Reign over. Go back.
Right, so there was something that was said in Samuel 8. Can you find that? We said of reign over. Yeah, get that verse. Get verse 7 again. I want you to pay attention to verse 7 in 1 Samuel 8 and verse 7.
And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people.
Right, so hearken unto the voice of the people. They want a wicked king to rule over them. Give it to them. Go ahead.
In all that they say unto thee.
Right.
For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me.
So when we come out here, right, and our people turn our backs and we try to bring this truth out to them, they did not reject us. They rejected YHWH. It's not us that rejected. We can be upset by it because that's our king, but we're not the ones that was rejected. Go ahead.
That I should not reign over them.
That I should not reign over them. Is that the end of the verse? Go ahead.
That's it?
Right, that I should not reign over them. Actually start at verse 17. We're going to read down really quick. Right, this is the parable of the pounds, right? These are the servants. So basically what happened, the servants who are good did what the Most High wanted. What they were supposed to do. They put out fruit, they put out pounds, and they brought back so that the Most High could use it. What we're going to go into is the wicked servant, and we're going to take you back to Samuel and show you that comparison. Go ahead.
The book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 17. And he said unto them, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities.
So the little bit of faith that you had, that you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith in the Mashiach, you can have authority over many cities. But we're going to deal with this wicked servant. Go ahead.
And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound had gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities.
Right, so he did good. He got equal for what he put in. For the work that you put in for the Lord, you will get back. Go ahead.
Right.
And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin.
So now, the Lord came, gave him the secrets of life, gave him the keys to salvation, and he said, oh yeah, here's your book back. There you go. I kept it. I wrapped the book up in the napkin because it's a holy book. Go ahead.
For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man.
So I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. So you're afraid of the Lord, but you still wouldn't do what he said. So you're really not afraid of him. Go ahead.
Thou takest up that thou layest not down.
You take up what you lay not down. This man came up and told the Lord, not only did I take this book and just hold on to it and not open it or use it, you take what don't belong to you. If you go back to 1 Samuel, I think, is it, go to 10. Go to 10. 1 Samuel 10, you got it? You set the wicked king over him? Go to 10. 10, chapter 10. Seven. Go to 8. Go to 8. Right? Go hold that. You go back to Samuel, right? He describes the wicked king, right? He said he'll take their daughters and make confectionaries out of them, right? He'll take their sons and he'll make them cooks. The wicked king in 1 Samuel, who the people chose, you got it? Go ahead, you can start from there, go ahead. So we're going to deal with what that wicked king does. Go ahead.
The book of Samuel, chapter 8, verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king.
Right.
And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you.
So this is the king that you asked for. Think about this wicked servant. We're going to read on. Go ahead.
He will take your sons and appoint them for himself,
Go ahead.
for his chariots, and to be his horsemen.
Right.
And some shall run before his chariots.
Right.
And he will appoint him captains over thousands,
Right.
and captains over 50s,
Right.
and will set them to ear his ground.
Chapter 14.
Verse 14.
Right.
And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and
Right.
give them to his servants.
So now this wicked king is going to come in and take the best of everything you had and take your children and give it to his people. So he's going to take what doesn't belong to him. Now let's go back and see what this servant said to the Mashiach. Go ahead.
Verse 21. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man.
Austere means hard, argent, or rigid in what he does. Go ahead.
Thou takest up that thou layest not down,
Did not the wicked king take what didn't belong to him? Go ahead.
and reapest that thou didst not sow.
So he's reaping from fields that he had your children work for. So he essentially what he did was compared the Mashiach Christ to the white man in this country, who made you do all the work, took your children, took your daughters, and made you reap, made you bring in everything and give it to him that didn't belong to him. So this wicked servant is comparing Christ to the wicked king in 1 Samuel. Go ahead.
And he said unto him,
Go ahead.
Out of thine own mouth will I judge thee.
So out of your own mouth will I judge you. Every idle word will be judged. So he said to the wicked servant, out of your own mouth I will judge thee. You approached the king and told him you don't deserve anything you have. Go ahead.
Thou wicked servant, thou knewest that I was an austere man,
You knew what I was like before you came into this agreement or this covenant or contract. Go ahead.
taking up that I laid not down,
Taking up what I laid not down. Go ahead.
and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore thou gavest not down my money in the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own with usury.
So you knew what I was like. You knew what I was going to do. The least you could have done was done some work so I could utilize out of the seed that I gave you. But you didn't do anything. Go ahead.
And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that had 10 pounds.
Right.
And they said unto him, Lord, he had 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one which hath shall be given, and from him that had not, even that he had shall be taken away from him.
So think about that, to wrap this up. So think about that. The Lord is going to take from you what you think you have because you don't have him. And since you don't, and if those who do have him, you will have more. That is a wicked servant. He compared a wicked king to the God. Go ahead.
Verse 27, but those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them.
But those mine enemies, who should not that I should reign over them. This is what he's saying, right? Go back to that in 1 Samuel. Go to the top. Got it? Go ahead, read that.
Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit ye protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
Right? That's the man of the king that reigned over it. Goes back. Go back. Right here. Go ahead. Verse 7. Go ahead.
The book of Samuel chapter 8 verse 7.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee.
So now he's hearkening to the voice. So now let's listen to what this man said to me. Go ahead.
For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me,
Go ahead.
that I should not reign over them.
Right. That I should not reign over them. Go ahead. Read that again.
But those mine enemies
This is Christ speaking.
which would not that I should reign over them.
Reign is to rule over them. They wanted a wicked king, and they rejected Christ. They did not want the Lord to reign over them. This man who did not want to do the works, he did not want Christ to reign over him. What happens because of that?
Bring hither and slay them before me.
So when you vote for these men, you make your allegiance to Trump, you make your allegiance to Biden, and you reject your God, and your Pharisee pastor helps you do it, and the Sadducees by the media write the scripts for them to say, you will be slain by Christ. That very Christ that you think you love, you will be slain by him because you rejected him and gave your vow or your vote to them. When I have to say shalom, give it to the next book.
All praises, man. Brothers, man. Brothers smoke well. All the brothers spoke well, man. I appreciate that, brothers. Man, we got to bring this word out, man, for our people, man. I'm gonna get into these keeping the laws right now, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna start off with Baruch 4:1. All right, good, huh?
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
Okay, I want to start with that, man, because there's a lot of people that teach that we don't got to keep the commandments no more, right? And I want to start with this because this whole book is the book of the commandments, right?
This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever.
How long up?
Forever.
How long?
Forever.
So someone said that when Christ when Christ went on the cross, that was it, right? That was the laws was done away with. Is that what they teach? That's not in the Bible. What it say?
And the law that endureth forever.
All right. So the laws that endure forever. Good.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
So this is how we get life. All that keep it shall come to life.
But such as leave it shall die.
That's it. Right? Those that leave it shall die. Got it.
Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it.
So it says, take hold of it. Turn thee, O Jacob. Right?
Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
So that's how you be illuminated, right? Bring out, you want to keep going on? You got more? Go verse 3.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 3. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
So we don't give what's honorable to us to a strange nation. That's what we got going on right here. This is what we see in these churches, right? They saying everybody is welcome, right? They say anybody can get salvation. Well, that's not in the Bible. Salvation is for the Israelites. That's right.
Verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, For things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us.
We should be happy that these things are being made known to us, because the Lord's statutes and commandments was given to us. All right, good.
Verse 5, be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Yasha'Allah. Verse 6, ye were sold to the nations.
All right, so we were sold to the nations. We all know who we were sold to, right? Go ahead.
Not for your destruction,
Not for your destruction.
but because you moved the Most High to wrath.
So we got sold to the nations because what?
Ye moved the Most High to wrath.
That's why we're in the condition that we're in, because we don't want to keep the laws. When the laws was given to us, right? Go ahead.
Ye were delivered to your enemies.
We was delivered to who?
To your enemies.
Oh, wait. We delivered to who?
Your enemies.
Because they say they are friends, right? They say love everybody and we supposed to be one big happy family. You know what I mean? Your neighbor is everybody. The so-called Chinese man, the so-called Edomite or white man, the so-called Japanese man.
Bring it out.
Go ahead,
You were delivered unto the enemies. Verse 7, for you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
It's time to stop sacrificing to these devils, man. And this the devil right here that we've been sacrificing
right.
to for far too long, right? We got to come out of this. Every time, we just had a camp, right? And it was like little kids. I don't know, some brothers probably saw it, right? We had some little kids, man, and we asked the little kids. We had a image of Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, as the scriptures say he looked. And then we had an image of this devil. And we said, which one is the devil? Don't you know every one of them young boys pointed to the image, the black image of Christ, and said that was the devil. We said, why you say that's the devil? They said, because he got red eyes.
Right.
Well, the scriptures say he got red eyes. Right? And that, and I was just wondering, when our people, man, when they see these devils, for some reason they think that that's God. Well, we know why, because that's what they fed us, right? But that's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Let's go to because they always say this law is the Moses law, right? We know Moses. What did Moses do? Moses spoke the laws that he was given by the Most High. Moses didn't do nothing on his own. Right. All right. Go to Leviticus 22 and 31. All right. So we gotta we gotta get away from this, man. We gotta get our people out of this image, man. And that's why we gotta start with the milk. Me and a brother was just talking about that, man. Sometimes we get a little deep, but we gotta still stick with the milk, because this is how we woke up. We woke up through the milk, right? We got to tell our people who they are. We got to keep going through these curses. I know people go, here go the curses. Here go Deuteronomy 28 again. Here go. But we got to also start teaching them the law. Right? All right, good.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, and verse 31. Therefore shall ye keep my commandments and do them. I am Yahweh.
Okay, so the Most High said what?
Therefore shall ye keep my commandments and do them. I am Yahweh.
No, Moses said that.
I am Yahweh.
So this said Yahweh said to keep the commandments, right? We supposed to keep the commandments. Thus says the Most High. All right, good.
Verse 32. Neither shall ye profane my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel.
And that's another thing. We got to stop profaning the Most High's name. And how we do that? We do that by selling drugs to each other. We do that by whoring our women out. You know what I'm saying? This is how we profane the Most High. Like, especially being in this truth, man. For you to say that the laws are done away with, and you go a whoring again, you go back to this image, you go back to the Christianity or whatever, that's making the Most High look bad, man. We supposed to be out here representing these laws, man. All right? And even Christ, now they say that the New Testament, you know what I'm saying? They say, Christ nailed the new law to the cross, right? But the New Testament, they don't tell us to keep the law. You know what I mean? It's funny that they always run to Paul. Paul knew the scriptures, and he definitely knew the law. That's right. You just don't understand it. That's the problem, right? Go ahead, finish that up.
I will be hallowed among the children of Israel.
Right.
I am the Most High, which hallow you.
Hallow you, which means he separated you. You're not the same. Stop trying to be the same. Bring out Deuteronomy 7 and 7. I want to show you that y'all not the same, man. I know everybody think that we supposed to be the same people. We supposed to love each other. Oh, our people funny. They tell us that, oh, we're equal. The Edomites say we're equal with them. And matter of fact, we want to be equal with them. How are we being equal in their kingdom? That's impossible. It's always going to be a hierarchy. Who's going to work? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to do the slave labor? Right? Go ahead, Up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power.
Now, we're about to get into the definition of holy right now. Go ahead.
The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people.
So you're special, Israel. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're special. Go ahead.
Unto himself, above all people.
No, we equal, Up.
Above all people.
Oh, no, we the same people. We ain't above nobody.
Above all people.
Thus says the Lord. The Most High said we're above all people. Why do you want to be equal? How many times we tell our people that they're the greatest people on the planet, and they'll walk right off we say that? Well, what about the white man? What about the white man? Go ahead.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right. So I want to go to Matthew 5 and 17. Let's see what Christ said. All right, let's see what Christ said about the law. Our people, you got Matthew 5 and 17. All right, bring up Psalms 119. All right, so we're going to see what Christ said, man. Because we all say we got to follow Christ, right? They say we're Christians. What do Christian mean? That means you're supposed to follow Christ, right? Or follow the Messiah. But they don't follow Christ because they don't do nothing Christ tell them to do.
Right.
Right?
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
So the Most High said, Christ said, the Mashiach said, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
But to what?
Fulfill.
Okay, so he said, I ain't come to destroy, but to fulfill.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
Do we still got heaven and earth right here? We're still looking at heaven and earth right now. You can look up, you see the heavens, and we're standing on earth. All right?
One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
The Most High said, not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. You know a jot and tittle? We got, the Most High tell us to wear our beards. You can't wear your beard? That's simple, man. That's the least of the law. Good, I'm gonna let you finish, get that to that one.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments, and shall teach men so.
So if you break one of the least commandments, like not wearing your beard, not wearing your fringes, these are least commandments. It's easy. It shouldn't be grievous at all. Yeah.
He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
So you're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
But whosoever shall do them and teach them,
so we do and teach. Go ahead.
the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
And that's what we want, man. And this is Christ speaking. We want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
Verse 20. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
So we always talk about, y'all, they always call us the scribes and Pharisees. You know what I mean? But the Most High said what? Christ said what?
That it shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So we got to exceed them. All right, go ahead. Bring that up.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 59. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
So we're not supposed to make haste. When we learn this truth, we learn who we are, we should be making haste to keep the commandments. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 60. That's like I can read it again. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.